What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Oshin. This is Oshin's View. You already know who's in the building. Willie Negro.
What up, what up, what up?
Homecoming MSU was a stone cold groove. You are the most righteous. Nah. That joint was off the hook. We had a good time. The Mart events didn't do anything to the homecoming. Everything continued to go well and have good news. One of the shooters of the 5 attempt murders, because that's what them boys going to get hit with that attempt murder, they've been caught. So I'll see them in probably the next 2 weeks. The other 2 shooters will be caught, and they're going to get an example made out of them. They're going to get an example made of them. This was not just local news.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't just local news. And then you had the shooting the following day at Bowie State during their homecoming. So these kids, young adults, they're about to find out a hard lesson, because this is not going to get this. Nothing about this says smack on the wrist.
Nah.
Nothing about this says smack on the wrist. It's going to be pressure. It's pressure on the mayor. It's going to be pressure on the governor, Westmore, and everything. It's not about, and I hate to use the word railroad, because they're not getting railroad. They absolutely deserve whatever they're going to get, but they're definitely going to throw the sauce on top of that.
Don't be messing up homecoming, yo. It's homecoming. I'm dead serious, yo. Leave homecoming alone, bro. Morgan Strong, though, we showed up and showed out.
Yes, definitely did. Your boy Joe Buttons of the Joe Button podcast fame, him and Drake are at it again. Drake just dropped an album called For All My Dogs. No, I have not heard it.
I have.
Chances of me. First off, how was it?
Mid.
Okay. Yeah. So, Joe Buttons, he had some commentary. He never said it was whack. He never talked bad about it. What he said was, he likes the Drake that was kind of talking to his age bracket. And I guess Drake is 37, 38 at this point?
36. He'll be 37. Something like
One
that.
of
I
the
don't
two.
know.
He's a Scorpio. He's a Scorpio. He's making us look bad with some of his rants. But Joe basically said he wanted Drake to make more mature music to reflect his life. I kind of agree with Joe with this one. Not in terms of listening to Drake's music like that. I'm not a huge fan of Drake. He has a few songs that I like, but, it is what it is. But, like we always talk about, what makes Nas and Jay who they are to me is because they're older men, and no matter where they are in their life, you know where they're at in their life according to their music.
Okay.
And Drake is on that level. I'm not talking about in terms of the lyrical ability, even though some might argue. But definitely in terms of the star power and quality, he's be on that level. And he went in on Joe Buttons. He gave a tweet or Instagram post. Basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Basically, he talked about how he's a failed rapper. He lives a modest life. In 973, definitely took a shot at Jersey. Just basically being like, be your own person. And he did the whole, all you young artists out here, don't listen to these dudes that have never done anything musically, and don't let them deter you from.
He said he lives the life. He is who Joe Button wants to be or wanted to be. That's what he said. I think if I'm reading that post and being honest, I think that post, the way it was written, to me reads, I respect Joe Button's opinion. That's what I hear when I read the post. He was hurt by Joe's critique of him. My opinion. Joe usually speaks glowingly of Drake. You know what I mean? He had, years ago, Joe was shitting on one of Drake's albums, and they had issues with that. But I think he respects Joe's opinion, as a lot of rappers do, but they won't say, because rappers respect the opinion of people that can rap. You see what I'm saying? That are nice with words. You see what I'm saying? And Drake, I am a Drake fan. I like Drake. You see what I'm saying? I think that he can rap very well. And I think he did some rapping on this album too. The reason it wasn't for me is because I didn't like the style of rapping he was doing. It was too theatrical. It was too young. It was too much, ad libs, and too much whisper rap. And that's not for me. And I think that's what Joe was saying. Like, let the kids do that. You are nice. You can put together songs that are good songs, that are slaps, that's going to be played on the radio and everything. I think, in my opinion, this is the first time this has happened. I think every feature on the Drake album kind of got him up out of there. That's my opinion. I think Cole got him up out of there. SZA definitely got him up out of there. SZA saved that song. I didn't really like that song. 21 Savage got him up out of there. And that's rare to me, because Drake can really rap, in my opinion. Like, he can really go.
He can't rap better than J. Cole, so I'm gonna give him a pass for that one. He doesn't rap better than J. Cole.
He should.
Make songs
at this
together.
He should not. Drake can rap. Like, he can go. Like, when he get in his something AM in this city, he be rapping. You know what I mean? And when you get on a song with Cole, I would expect you to rap. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he in his I don't have nothing to prove era. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, I feel like he just making music. It was almost like he didn't care. And so of course I agree with some of the things Joe said. But I think Drake is just really hurt by what the critics are saying.
Well, he should be hurt. Because this is my thing, and you've made some good points about Drake. I still don't know anything about Drake whatsoever. He contradicts himself a lot. I hold on to a lot of things that he said that I'm looking like, this is what kind of shifted and made your personality and how you are, but then you go back on it. I'm still to the point of, diss me and you'll never get a response. Now this nigga responds to everything. Like, everything. He responds to everything and everybody.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not about taking a hit, but I'm kind of like, okay. All right, we get it. We've all been played before by some chick. And if you got into a better stage of your life, you were able to, defecate a little bit on them. Mm-hmm. But come on, you've been popping and rich a lot longer than you've been the little wheelchair Jimmy. So maybe that's the thing, and I'm giving him a bone because maybe that is the thing that is near and dear to him about how people shit on him and stuff like that. But I kind of feel that every rapper at some point, every performer has gotten that. And I feel you get that out your system, but you can't live in that world. My thing is this. The thing about when you said what he does with the younger dudes, that's kind of part of his shtick, because he's the one known as the guy that gives the youth their chance. So this is why whenever a hot new dude or a chick comes out with a song, he attaches himself, right, because that's who he is. He's one of the quote unquote older dudes that shows love to the younger generation. That would be great if the young guys were on the song with him. It's just like he's sounding like them without them being there. That sounds weird. Well, because he takes things from them. Like he's around Sexy Red now doing all this stuff. Like, this is by design. Isn't that a mistake? This is by design. Like, come on, Drake, you want to smash Sexy Red? And I'm pretty sure she will if he says something, but come on, seriously? I'm not even giving that props for knocking down Sexy Red. All right. I didn't want to get on her.
But but Joe is not the only one. Like he just retweeted something that somebody said. Somebody said something to the effect of, y'all might as well just tell him say what he really did to y'all, because it's getting ridiculous right now. And it's because, like, it's not just Joe. A lot of people, this album is not getting the acclaim that he usually gets. You know what I mean? And to be honest, his last few albums didn't get that acclaim like he usually gets. But his last few albums was better than this, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I just don't. And I just feel like when you put too much energy into a rebuttal, you spend energy and time on people that you kind of respect. Like, you respect their opinion, especially this long post. That was one of them joints that you get from a chick, and you just open up and you just close it. Like, I'm not reading all this. That's a whole paragraph. I'm not reading that.
Yeah, that was a lot of feelings inside that one. Speaking of feelings, it's the Jada, but there's no kiss at the end of this one. We are talking about Jada Pinkett. Fuck that. She's Jada Pinkett. She's not Jada Pinkett Smith no more. I'm sorry. I gotta take that.
You gonna take the whole Smith off?
She is Jada Pinkett. That's it.
That's wild.
And as a disclaimer, before we get into this relationship, marriage that Will Smith has had with Jada Pinkett, I said from the beginning, when women like to always say, you got to mess with somebody on your level, for example, yada, yada, yada. And I always say, even before Ocean's View was a thing, if that was the case, Will Smith should have never messed with Jada Pinkett. He should have been messing with Julia Roberts, if we're talking about in terms of celebrity. And it looks like, in a roundabout way, I was right. And I'm going to tell you why. Jada Pinkett is from Baltimore. Shout out to B-More. Second home. But she's from Baltimore. And Will Smith is from Philly.
Yes.
West Philly.
Yes.
To be exact. So you would think that would be kind of a cool marriage. And I'm not talking about their actual marriage, like the bond between the two. You know. See, but Will Smith grew up in a different lifestyle than Jada. I don't think Will Smith didn't know what was going on in the streets, but I don't know how much he was involved. Jada Pinkett, I don't know a whole story, but it gives off the scent of she not even having it rough, because clearly I think her mother still lives out here, type shit. And, you know, Tupac, who was from New York, but has lived in Baltimore for some time. Him and Jada Pinkett got close, real close. And I think Jada is just, she pulled a Pepper, because remember Will Smith tried to holler at Pepper from Salt and Pepper.
Okay.
And she told him, she said later in the interview that she wasn't ready for a nice guy type thing. So that's why she didn't really want to deal with Will Smith. But she went around dealing with whoever else she dealt with. I think, well, she was dealing with Tretch and stuff like that. It's Tretch. Tretch and Will Smith, two ends of the spectrum, one end and the other end, straight up and down.
Okay.
It's the same thing when it came to Tupac. You see where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
Jada just understood because she was on Different World. She was in Woo. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't get in Matrix without Will Smith. She doesn't become Hawthorne without Will Smith. So I got to lay this stuff out there because this will really take us into where we're going with the nonsense she's doing to my man Willard Smith. Now, she is supposed to be coming out with a book. Cool. Everybody comes out with a book. Everybody comes out with a tell-all.
Well, that's important because that's the reason she's on this media run right now is
Yes.
because of this book.
Yeah, so she's on the media run. But what she's doing to Will, I just think like it's making, at one point they were quote unquote goals, as people like to say. And as wholesome as Will Smith appears to be with things, because I'm pretty sure he has his flaws.
Yeah.
You see that when he smacked Chris Rock. And that was just, the smack was one thing, but it was more so shocking. People was like, damn, Will Smith did this? Not because he was a punk.
Yeah.
It was just, yo, you kind of rise above the nonsense all the time. And here we are with Jada at every turn now, pretty much going away from anything that was done. First off, did you know that she's just released and said her and Will have been separated, living separate lives for 7 years? That was since 2016.
Yeah, I seen that.
So they've been living separated lives. So that means when he smacked Chris Rock, they wasn't together. Not only were they not together, this is when I knew we had to talk about this tonight. When she said she was shocked when Will was like, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Because she was looking at him like, Negro, we separated. But of course she's saying it now.
No, because that's cap though. Because they were at the awards together.
Yes, they were.
That's 100% cap. She knew whether they was together or not, that in the public they were together. So to be surprised that he said any of that is just a lie. Like, no, you weren't. Y'all are married. Even if y'all separated, y'all are married. You are his wife. And in the public, y'all just did a red table talking about your infidelity, but y'all were separated, but it doesn't matter. But y'all did that because the public perception is y'all still married. You see what I'm saying? And you know that because that was ample time on your show to say, hey, we've been separated since 2016. You could have said that then.
But she knows she did that. That was once again by design, because now the whole conversation switches. Nobody want to hear red table talk now. We need to know how y'all got to this point. So that's the thing about social media and celebrities and stuff. Even us, quote unquote, us normal folk, working everyday class people. When you take people on the whirlwind of your relationship, don't just drop me off in the middle of the Atlantic when things go left. I need to know when things are starting to go left. I need to know when things when the waters start to get murky. Nah, for real. Because don't be like, oh, this is Bay. This is such as all the greatness. But it confuses the hell out of me personally, because 1 minute this is Bay. Look at the food. He did good. Next thing you know, all the single ladies, you like, wait a minute. You was just in love, living for the city.
Yeah.
The waters got murky, and now, oh, we outside. Like, how the hell you get outside? You was just with this dude. But she's putting out this whole thing. A lot of women now are being like, well, what did Will do? I don't care what Will did. And this is not because I'm a man. When I say I don't care what Will did, I'm basically saying I'm pretty sure he's not involved with a lot what had to go on between him and Jada. He's played a huge part in what's going on. But this is the part that's disgusting me, because Will is not turning around taking shots at her.
So for one thing, I just assumed that they've been separated already. She didn't have to say that to me for me to assume that. I already thought that. When you saw Will on the red table acting and crying and all that stuff, he was acting. Will was disgusted. He was disgusted. He said, I seen it in his face like, yo, why would you do this? What? You could be in relation with anybody. Why would you choose him? The unstable 21-year-old that's, you know, is going to post everything all over social media and do all this stuff to mess up our image in the public. They both doing whatever they want to do. Why would you do that? He was disgusted. He wasn't upset, heartbroken, or none of those things. He was like, yo, you are messy, which trickles down and continues to the Red Table Talk. Messy. This messy. And the only and I don't mind you capitalizing off your life and writing a book and everything. But I do mind if it's at the expense of your husband. That's crazy.
Facts.
That's wild. Like, Will's career is not over. Like, you single-handedly trying to kill it while it's already down.
You know what's crazy with that? And her thing with Tupac. And I love the fact that Will Smith kept it 100 on the Breakfast Club when Charlamagne asked him, did you feel insecure with that? And he was like, yeah, because of how she always talked about Pac. Look here, that is any man, period. I don't care. I personally feel you have to be your woman's hero. You have to be that dude in her eyes. Now, granted, women have passed. We get it. I believe every woman has that one guy that they still think of. He still holds a space in our heart and stuff like that. But when you're constantly bringing it up, that's an issue, because this is my thing. This is my hold up. This is my thing with that. Because I'm going to flip it. Guys actually 100% have that one or two ladies that we like, damn, I should have messed with, or I could have did this. Mm-hmm. But we not bringing that up. We are not even going to bring that up to you because we know just how that reads with us saying that. But women do it a lot.
Because it's all hypothetical.
They do it a lot.
Yeah.
They do it a lot. And I can imagine how many times. See, the bad part about it was Tupac was a super celebrity, and he's he's deceased now, so he's a martyr on top of that. So when you get these, I gotta stop and say this real quick. Shout out to my man Kurt. Little girl Corinne is Salt and Herbie Lovebug's child. That is their daughter. Remember he's asking who is daughter, little girl Corinne? Mm-hmm. Salt from Salt and Pepper's daughter is Corinne. He met her. It has been verified. I looked it up and everything. But God's son Elijah, still looking for you. But anyway, what you call it?
Hey, yo.
Women will continue to bring that up. And I can imagine he done asked some questions in their privacy and stuff. Not trying to know too much, but just be like, well, what is it that made him this, that, and the third?
I don't think he asked one question.
No, he did, because he had to. And the only reason why I'm assuming that he asked that, because when he was on the Breakfast Club, he said, I was insecure because in her eyes, that was the definition of a man. Like Pac was the ultimate. This is what, he only knows this because she's expressed that. And he asked, but she's definitely expressed it.
No, he did not ask.
He had actually just told him.
She told him, just like she telling us. Just like she telling us. For the last 20-something years, she been telling us that Pac. This is my problem. Pac wasn't her man. Pac had a whole girlfriend. She was the side chick. I know she was enamored with him like all of the women was in the world. Like, listen, I was there when Pac died. I seen mad girls crying that never even met him. So can you imagine if you met this charismatic nigga, and especially if he put it on you, like, and y'all was cool, you know him since he was a kid and everything. Yeah, she hold a serious place in the heart. But my thing is this: he wasn't yours. And then your man, who gave you literally the world. Literally the world, the father of your children. You're like, yeah, he all right, but this guy that I was going to see in jail and that died in his 20s, that's the one. That's the one. And that's what people be talking about. You said it with Pepper. Yeah, he a good dude, and I see his trajectory, and he gonna be, but this guy right here, this guy Tretch, he's the one. Because it's something about he might be able to put his hands around my neck and choke me out to death or something. It's something about that. That I just, yo.
But Jada said, she said they never were intimate.
That's even worse.
I put this. No, let's delve into that just a little bit. She claims that Pac proposed to her while he was in jail.
Yes, she does.
I don't know Tupac. Met him twice. Said what's up to him on 145th Street, New York, Harlem. But I don't see Pac proposing to somebody that he ain't ever sleep with.
That was cat.
It's super cat.
100%. First of all, he wasn't dead. He wasn't dying. He was in jail. And he wasn't going to be there forever. He was in jail.
He had a short stint.
Come on, he wasn't on his deathbed yo, I love you so much, will you marry? Come on, man. He might have said some craziness like you my soulmate or some craziness that.
I'm pretty sure he said that she was his soulmate because she throws that soulmate word around flowingly when it comes to Pac.
Man.
Never said, but like this. So can you be married? And so the theory is the person you marry should be your soulmate, right?
Yes.
I wonder how much of that really is the case. I don't believe the average person married is with their soulmate.
Right.
So my thing is this. I do believe her and Pac had a certain love at a certain level.
Yes.
And everything. So I'm not going to cheapen their relationship. It was because I have a lot of women friends. And you're able to talk to women. You're allowed to be a lot more vulnerable when it comes to the women.
Some women,
now,
yes.
This is my vulnerability because I do have male friends that I consider brothers that I have cried in front of, frustrated, you know what I'm saying, being one. Things like that I can get it off on. But for the most part, I know who I'm venting, so I know who I'm not. So granted, they have that. She's making me feel the way because it looked like she dealt with Will Smith because he was a safe bet.
100%.
He's
my thing is
already
this.
famous.
My thing
he's
is
rich.
this.
He's up.
You know I know Will is your guy.
Yes.
You know me and we share a birthday.
Yeah, I actually do.
Yes.
You, Will Smith,
T.I.
and T.I.
Yes.
And Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
Go ahead, though.
Will is your guy.
Yes.
How much accountability does he take in this? How much accountability do you think he takes in this?
I'm definitely not going to say 50% because it's not a half and half thing. To be honest, I think he was duped. Should have been down. If you ask me, I think he was duped. But in all seriousness, we heard that they were swingers. So I'm pretty sure other women have been in Will's and Jada's bed. That's their business. Let them go. But Will's whole thing was, we have to keep this under wraps type thing. And I personally feel that I've seen, I can't think of a time when Will has embarrassed Jada. Now, let me clear that up. I don't believe that to be 100% true and that he's never done anything because I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. My whole point is, the public eye, we have never seen Will embarrass Jada the way she's doing him and letting these secrets out, things like that. Because it's almost to the point now, if Will claps back, as they say, first off, he's in a lose-lose situation. He can't clap back because he's a man, for one. Number two, he's going to sound like the scorned lover because with that role has already been filled by her. Right. So she gets to put it out there. And I just feel, like I said, Will, I believe he took his lumps, and you know what I'm saying, his hits on the chin and everything, but he didn't do it publicly. And I'm sorry, if you don't do it publicly, things got to ride out. You got to ride that one out. That's just how I feel.
So the reason I said,
go ahead.
the reason I ask you how much accountability he takes is because we've been watching this show for some time now. Mm-hmm. It ain't like we found out Tupac was Jada's soulmate yesterday or the day before. Mm-hmm. It's been years. And she been moving weird for at least the past 7 to 10 years, especially on Tupac's birthday. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, and he has acknowledged that that was a sense of angst or a sense of insecurity for him in the relationship. He has to take some accountability for not leaving this lady. I just don't understand what the value in staying is. For example, if they would have publicly separated or got divorced, let's say 10 years ago, I think Will is still a superstar. He doesn't smack anybody. And Jada goes off into the sunset, and Will still, his trajectory is still to the roof. I just don't understand why he stays in this toxic thing.
Because, well, this is all opinion. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know for a fact. 'Cause I definitely started off saying, well, he did it because of this. No. Will grew up in a household, mother and father. Never been divorced. I think that has a lot to play with. And I hear that a lot from people that are married, that grew up with that setting. Mom and dad stayed together. That's a real thing for them. Now, you get somebody...
It can be toxic, but I get it.
Yes, because the theory is we don't divorce. We fight through anything. And I understand fighting. Mm-hmm. But when it gets to the point where it starts to become detrimental to the family, most people aren't breaking up a lot of times because it's financial. We know that ain't the case with y'all. Y'all both buying. Y'all both buying. Hey, Jada, you can have this mansion. I'll go get this one over here, and it'll be up and running. Chris Rock showed us the way. He moved around the corner from his bed. Like, you know what? Keep the house. Still going to see my kids. Daddy, how far I got to walk? Around the corner. So money is not your celebrity's issue. But sometimes, you know what I believe? When you're in a bad relationship, when you're in a bad relationship sometimes, whether it's relationship, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife, part of you feel like you don't want to take a loss. You don't want to look like you lost or gave up. I've been there before. Staying in a relationship I should have bounced from. And all the signs were there, and it's still like, nah, I'm not going to lose this way. Or I'm not going to, well, if Pac was here, who knows how this shit would have went. But he's not here. This is what's happening. Maybe Will has a little bit of, I'm not losing like this. Especially once it was put out there publicly. Because a lot of people stay in bad relationships till they feel that they can leave on the exact terms that they want to leave from. Because, like me always talk about, nobody leaves anybody because somebody else said leave them. Like, I've yet to ever break somebody up. You know how many times I done hit dudes, man, leave that bitch. And next week, they still with that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. And how many times chicks is here, girl, you need to leave him. And they still with him.
But a lot of people stay in relationships too long. A lot of people stay in relationships too long, and it's detrimental to them, and it's toxic, and you waste a lot of valuable years. And I think in this case, you know, I'm always an advocate for black love, but you know, if you were separated since 2016, like she said, y'all probably should have just separated publicly or got a divorce, because then we wouldn't care so much. It would, because my thing is the August Alsina thing wouldn't have been on Will then. It would have just been on Jada. Like, why are you messing with this little boy? It wouldn't have been, hey, your wife is messing with this little boy. You see what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? If that was the case, you see what I'm saying? And we wouldn't care about all this Tupac talk anymore. You see what I'm saying?
Because they would have just moved on, and it would have been amicable as amicable could be.
Right.
Because I personally don't believe most times.
You know, Will move his exes to the backyard anyway.
A word?
His ex-wife lived in the backyard. Yeah.
Literally?
Yeah, he got her a house built. Yes.
This is what I'm talking about.
So his kids can grow up together.
Sheesh.
But that's the other thing. That's the salacious thing. The conspiracies.
Yo, Kurt, man, what's up with your man? It's salacious. Come on. First it was acquiesce, now it's salacious. They got a word of a day every day. Every episode, niggas got a word of the day. This shit might have to be a segment or something.
Salacious, man.
I know what it means. I even knew what acquiesce meant that day. But damn, when my man Curry said, "Yeah, y'all big," and then I think what was my word?
I don't know. I
forgot
forgot,
what
yo.
he said, but my word wasn't even that big. And I was like, what? Mine was regular. This nigga said acquiesce, came back with salacious. Like,
hey, yo.
Day,
nah, but that's what they saying. Like, they putting the timeline together. They saying that I think his ex-wife got divorced in 2015. And then they separated in 2016. And they like, oh, it makes sense. Not to me. I don't understand why you would go backwards, but whatever. And then the other thing is, you know, it's that rumor that Will likes men, and that's why they separated. But
I don't buy
that either.
I don't buy into none of that. Because once you're in Hollywood, at some point you're going to be gay. That's just what it is. Some point you're just going to be gay for the sake of it too. That's
let's clear that up because that sounded crazy.
What?
At some point they're going to say that you're gay.
Oh yeah.
Like, nah, you're not going to just be gay.
Well, no.
Yo,
they've been hitting my man Diddy with that charge for about 20 some odd years now. Now, my thing is what people do in their bedrooms is what they do in their bedroom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But looking at this other thing online, these chicks have lost their minds. And I really want to talk about this one because I've been hit with that before too. Not the way this dude was hit, because we had a conversation and the woman made this exact same comment. So there was a clip online. This lady, she was going on a date with a guy, and he pulled up into the Cheesecake Factory. I guess that's where their date was at. And she said she's not getting out the car because somebody as beautiful as me can't go to the Cheesecake Factory. And she said, and this will caught me when she said, it's a chain restaurant. I've been told that before by somebody. I didn't offer to take him to the Cheesecake Factory, but I think I offered to take him somewhere, and they were like, I don't, and this lady said, the one I was talking to in real life, she said, I don't go to chain restaurants. I was like, what? So when she said it, needless to say, we ain't never go out. We ain't never go out. No.
It's a fact.
Yeah, we ain't never go out. But this dude in the video actually tried to take out. But then he gave context. How she was late when he came to pick her up. An hour late. She had 1,000,000,001 excuses. She's recording. She's all in her hair, braids, whatever it was. She kept talking about, you don't take a woman as beautiful as me to the Cheesecake Factory. First off, she was about a 7.5. That's for one. Not saying...
And it was a first date. That's
it was
important.
a first date, thank you. Not saying if you was a 10, you get to get that off. But my thing is this. If you're going to have some conceit, ladies, you at least got to have the bare minimum, at least look good. Never mind how you are on the inside, because you can look good and be ditzy and stuck up and everything else. But if you're going to be stuck up, you at least got to be in that 9-10 area.
Right.
Because at least to see if you're going to deal with it. So it was a first date. She starts going into, I get courted. See, I love when women start talking that I get courted crap and what they're used to getting. Because the first thing I'm thinking, you know what I'm going to say? then why are you single?
Yeah, right here.
Because if these dudes were doing all of this, why are you still single? Oh, I'm pretty sure she got a lot of answers for that. I'm pretty sure a lot of women got a lot of answers for that. Well, let me give you the answer. If dudes don't know, if the women don't know. You know why they're still single? Because the dudes that are super courting and doing all these things that women claim is the bare minimum to get with them, those niggas is smacking them chicks. And what I mean by smacking, they get in that box that night. Every dude that she probably dealt with that did all this courting and all this high-end stuff, them dudes smacked that night. And guess what? They curved them right after that. Because one thing about dudes with disposable incomes, they're not going, why should they spend their disposable income on one IG model when it can be 10 IG models? Shit up and down.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. I know dudes that will buy 5 chicks the same $15,000 watch. And none of those chicks will ever cross paths, but all 5 of them are going to think they're the one. They're special. So I'm trying to figure out, and maybe you could throw them some bell. What the hell be wrong with women thinking dudes supposed to go all out on the first date?
I don't know. And in looking at that video, my question if I was him would be, why did you even accept an invitation to go out with me? You see, what about me made you think that I'm going to take you to wherever you wanted to go? And if that was the case, you could have suggested that. You see what I'm saying? You could have said that before we went on the date. Before I picked you up, like, yo, can we go here? I really like this place. Sure. You see what I'm saying? But what about me made you want to go out on a date with me? Because I call cap on all of those women. All of them. When you like somebody, when you're attracted to somebody, they can take you to the Cheesecake Factory.
Yep.
I don't care. All that don't mean nothing. When you are attracted to this man, he pull up in a nice car and all this stuff, and he confident, and you attracted to him. You're like, oh, I would have sex with him. And he pull up to the Cheesecake Factory. You like, I don't usually do this, but let's see what's going on. When you're not really attracted to him, you want to say, a lot of women, what can I get from him? That's why they had the whole conversation in the first place. You could have said, hey, take me home. But you negotiating. You like, well, men usually court me. What translation, you want to spend a lot of money on me if you want a relationship with me. Because I don't really like you like that. You see what I'm saying? Because I just understand how attraction works. How physical attraction works. And every attraction initially, romantically, it's physical. Like we look at women size you up like, yo, I would. And men size you up like, hey, I want to. You see what I'm saying? Like, so when you have that physical attraction mixed with his confidence, yeah, he could take you to Cheesecake. But she just wasn't feeling him. And because she wasn't feeling him, it's all right now. What can I get out of this? You see what I'm saying? He not bad looking. He not this, that. He looked like he got a little bit of money. Now what can I get? You see what I'm saying? So then when he pulled up the cheesecake, she's like, nah, this ain't gonna work for him. It's not gonna work for him. And that's why she's saying that's why she's saying, oh, I'm a beautiful woman like me doesn't go here. What translation is, you're not attractive enough to bring me here.
Pretty much. And I'm tired of women with this whole plan the date all the way through. Fellas, they're right about that. So when a woman tells you, we gotta get our start putting our sound effects in, because a jewel is about to be dropped. So they need to get your pen and pads out now, because a jewel is about to be dropped. Fellas, when these ladies talk about, I don't want a guy that's gonna ask me, what do I wanna do? I'm looking for the guy that says, be ready at this time, I'm coming to pick you up. Yes, they are absolutely right. You plan that date from beginning to end. And you know what you do? You include sex at the end of that date. And put that
sounds like
part of your plan. And let it be known. You don't just say, oh, here come the flowers, here comes the mandolin, here comes them. You add sex to the end of that date and let her know at the beginning. Because if she doesn't accept the full-fledged date with sex included, in the words of the great HOV, hit a U-turn, mom dropping you back off, front of the club. Why you do that for? That's exactly where that one needs to go.
Yeah.
Straight up and down.
It just baffles me that people would have a conversation about that. It's like either you want to go on a date or not. Like that's not even a conversation. Like, oh, I'm not eating that cheesecake. All right, let me drop you off. Because I take somebody else to Cheesecake. You know what I mean? And why? You don't like the food here? Like, you can't be seen here? Were you famous? Why can't you go and eat at Cheesecake?
My last bad date was at Cheesecake Factory, and it wasn't because it was a Cheesecake Factory. It was just a bad date. It was a bad date. I've talked about it before. We was in a casino. I gave her $100. She lost it. She was like, I want to gamble again. I looked at her like, I guess you got $100 of your own this time because I ain't giving you nothing, JoJo. And so once I didn't give her that extra 100, the date just got no better. She starts looking at her phone. And I'm a spiteful dude when it comes to stuff like that. Oh, you want to look at your phone? Oh, shit, I'm going to look at my phone now. You know what I'm saying? I got stuff to do, too. And we're sitting there, and I knew it was over when I was like, yeah, we're going to go to the spot after this. It was a little club that was in the area. She's like, oh, nah, I'm just going to go home. I said, no doubt. I was like, and for me, y'all know me, once I hit you with the no doubt, that pretty much wraps it up. I was like, no doubt. I looked at the time. It was like 11:15. I was like, garçon. Yo, he came with the check. I paid for it because I don't even want to hit. I was planning to pay for it anyway. Paid for it. Got the church hug when it was time to leave because there was nothing going on. Church hug. She went to her car, went to my car. I went to the spot. I put the food in the trunk because it was kind of cold. It was in the winter time. Put the food in the trunk because I didn't want the car smelling like that. Put it in the trunk. Went to the spot. Got my dance on, got a couple of numbers, went home, warmed that food up, ate, went to sleep. And I was cool.
And I was cool. I just be wondering what do people be thinking a first date should be? Because I don't have a problem with this young lady saying she doesn't eat at chain restaurants.
I do.
I know it on a date. If she just doesn't eat at chain restaurants. Say, do you want me to drop you off at one of these restaurants that you do eat at? I'm just saying. My problem is this. I have a problem with being taken advantage of. You know what I mean? I don't want to buy you things that you don't buy yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I will supplement things. Like, I would love to buy you things and take care of you and do these things. But you can't demand things of me that you don't demand of yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Anybody else.
But no, of yourself. Because my thing is, you can't ask of me what you can't provide for you. That's a bare minimum thing. You see what I'm saying? Like you can't ask me for a Benz when you drive a Ford. You see what I'm saying? Like that's weird. You could ask me for a Ford though. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what you drive. But if you drive a Benz, then that's your standard. You see what I'm saying? Like if you only you don't eat at chain restaurants, that's your standard. I get it. But if you're eating there, you see what I'm saying? You can't put on me what you can't. Like that's the chick at the bus stop turning their nose up to the guy driving past her in a Buick. You at the bus stop. Like what are you talking? I'm driving. You could get in and get to where you gotta go, or you could just wait. Like it's cool. That's weird to me, man. And that I always think about stuff like that because it's like, what is your real standard of living? Or do you only do these things when men provide it for you?
I believe, and that was very good, but I believe a lot of times those two words always get misconstrued. You know where I'm going with this? Standard and preferences. They always get blurred together a lot.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you talk about the bus stop and everything. A dude that's waiting on the bus, a chick ain't stopping. She dropped by in the Benz or anything like that, she ain't stopping to talk to this dude. If she does, this nigga better be a mixture of Tyson, Idris Elba, Michael Ealy, all kinds of Boris Kojo, all of them combined somehow. And even then, it's like, it's too many people out there. Let me see. Hopefully, he's out here tomorrow by himself, and I can try to scoop him. But the chick, a dude will definitely holler at a chick on the bus stop.
Yeah.
Chick will definitely holler at a dude will definitely holler at the chick at the drive-through window. Because dudes is not, unless you some type of snobby dudes ain't into that. Yo, I only eat the thinnest of cheeses and cheeses you've never heard of before.
Not the thinnest, damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like, dudes is kind of like go with the flowish. Dudes put that front on for chicks.
Yeah.
I've been there too. Spending too much money on a chick that I'm looking like, yo, you know the bad thing about taking L's when you go out on a date with a chick and you spend money? The money isn't the L. Not worried about that. The L is you didn't play your hand the way you normally play your hand. And you lost. You didn't get anything. You got no advantage in that relationship or attempted that relationship. That's what made me always feel funny style. Like, yo, because then I turn around, come to find out this chick just wanted a chicken box. That's all she wanted.
Right.
And somebody else knocked it down. What you do? Well, nah, I just took her to get a chicken box. That's it? Oh, my bad. And they came with a grape soda. And we had the time of our night.
It's a fact.
Of our life. You see what I'm saying? I'm not mad because the dude hit. I'm mad because evidently he played his cards the way he wanted to play it. And this is what it was. And I overplayed my card. Like, yeah, she looked good. I could tell she's only into this. And a lot of times, they don't be into that. They'll be into it if you throw it up there. But like you said, it goes back to what you said. They would have accepted the Cheesecake Factory. But my dumb ass took them to Shea Moore Reese's.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying like that?
Well, you know, two things. One, I was always broke. So you wasn't getting none of that out of me. And two, the other thing is, my way always worked. It worked for me. Like, I didn't take chicks nowhere. We was going to the living room. I had 3 movies on deck. We was going to the park. Oh, that was a good move. You know what I mean? The most I would do, I did the movies a couple times. That was back when movies ain't cost that much. That's like a $30 date. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But, you know, I ain't had no money, man. You ain't getting all my money. Sorry. I don't even know you.
And that's the biggest part right there, too. If the theory is, let's get to know each other, then the cost of the date shouldn't factor into that.
Right.
Because what you knowing? That I got a few dollars? You know what I'm saying? Like that. Because to me, the money doesn't do a real separation.
Right.
Because if it's all about you dealing with somebody with money, look here, I got a few dollars. But this dude's out here that got more than me.
Yes.
And so that means that's just telling me if the higher dollar amount comes, I'm out of here. I'm pushed to the side. Like we always say, that Chrysler 300 is not a baby Bentley. You know why? Because when a Bentley pulls up next to that 300, oh, you see the difference. Quick. You like, yo, I don't even know why I was calling this a baby Bentley, because it don't look nothing like that. It doesn't have any of the interior things, nothing. The seats don't even look like nothing. But the baby Bentley is, I can get it off. Who's going to go for it? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that. So that's how a lot of that go. The secret to my rosemary sauce. Now, remember in Boomerang when he said that joint when he was trying to mess with But when he invited Robin Givens over,
Yeah.
and they was watching the game, and he was like, the secret to my rosemary sauce. Like, he was trying to get all deep and all that, so I always thought that was funny. But I was talking to a friend, and she had a situation where a guy pretty much jerked out of some money. He was supposed to give a product, so I think it might have been like some shoes or something and like that, maybe tickets, something, whatever it is. And he came through with what he did before, but the second time, he just kind of curved her for the money and everything. And it wasn't just her. It was some other dudes too and everything, but it ain't about the other dudes. It's about her. At the time, she wound up telling her baby daddy. And he asked, do you want me to talk to him? She said, no. But yet, she told the other dudes because she claims they were invested because they got their money taken as well. So she said men were already involved, so I didn't want, and I tried to take care of it myself, but that's why I told him don't do nothing. So I replied to her, I was like, y'all was headed for Splitsville because you don't really respect them. And
Hold on. She with her baby father?
At the time.
At the time she was, okay.
At the time they were. And he asked, she declined because she said she likes to handle things on her own. Fine. But I'm looking like, once those other dudes got involved, regardless of them being invested because they got jerked too, he has to be involved as well too. Only more can help. But you're not going to be doing something with other men, nothing sexual.
Right.
But you couldn't tell me to do it. You couldn't ask me to do it, or you didn't want me involved.
Right.
I told her, I was like, yo, you didn't really respect them if that was the case. No, I didn't know. And he's a pretty boy. I don't know what he's going to do. Now, granted, she said that in jest after the fact, but I was already in my thoughts of, you don't respect this dude. That's the side of the fence that I was on. So my question is this. How, I'm personally, if, I don't care if it's my girlfriend, wife, or whatever, if you got an issue with another woman, whether it's over money, physical, or whatever else, handle it.
Right.
The minute a man is involved and I find out, now if I don't find out and you handle it, that's one thing. That's one part of the small type of argument. But if I find out that you went and got somebody else, some other dudes, we got a problem.
Right.
We got a problem. And it doesn't have to be about being the toughest guy, but we got a problem because that speaks volumes of your trust and belief in me.
Right.
It is deeper than just getting my ass whooped or me whooping somebody's ass. You don't even feel that you can come to me as a protector, provider to do these things, especially when it's another man. Why do you think the whole thing is when women go get their car serviced, what do they tell women? Take a man with you. Why? Because they literally hike up the prices when it's just women.
100%.
You know how many times I got girl cousins that be like, oh yeah, I just went there to get my oil filter changed, and then I had to pay for this and this, that, and the third. And you like, what? Because guys, a guy will try to us and be like, yo, you know, your oil changed, but you also need this. Will the car run? Yes. Nigga, then I'll be back for that. Change the damn oil, take your money, and let's get up out of here. But women, they will get caught for the whole Monty when a woman is there by herself. So I told her, I was like, yo, you kind of wrong about that.
Yeah. You can't, another man can't speak on my woman's behalf. That's crazy. Like, so you went to get another man to speak on your behalf when I'm right here? First, you don't, it's two parts. You don't think that I could handle it. That's one. That you look at me some type of way for whatever reason, this situation you don't think I can handle. And two, what is your relationship with this dude that you come in to get to speak on your behalf? Why would he speak on your behalf? You see what I'm saying? Like, dudes ain't just coming to just be like, yo, get her right. You see what I'm saying? For no reason. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like, those are two things that sometimes women don't take into account when they just react to certain situations. Mm-hmm. You got a man and you dealing with a man, your man should deal with that. You can't go get another man to deal with that. That's crazy. That's a shot at our ego. Men have egos. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Fragile. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a shot at why wouldn't you come to me for this? You know what I mean? And the other thing is, now I got to investigate who you did go to. Why would you go to this guy? Well, they was both invested in it already. So what? They can speak for them. Why would they speak for you?
Exactly. And my whole thing was this. I'm not going to say, because it's even to the point, if you're married, well, that was my father. He should have said, yo, your husband is right there. So it really, there's no passing that whatsoever, because after a while, after I kind of drilled it to her, then she kind of was like, all right, I see where you're going. But I'm looking like, but you opened the door for that. Like that argument was coming. It was inevitable. Like that. I don't really think they argued or anything, but the whole point was, like we always say, you want to find out if a chick is dealing with somebody, wait till it's time for her to move. Because if it's time for them to move and you're my girlfriend or wife, we already know what that is. But let's say girlfriend, okay, I'm going to call my friends. We're going to help you move.
Right.
If you play this, be perfectly honest, when it comes to something like that, maybe you call your cousin who is a moving company. Right. There's a little leeway for that. Because especially if that's his business, you can rock out with that. Mm-hmm. But you see how critical it is. It's like, okay, your cousin literally has a moving company, and I know this is your cousin. Right. Cool. Go ahead. Make it easier on us. I'll pay him. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to pay him. I'll pay him. That's what I'll contribute to that. But if you go to your friends, your male friends, and I'm right there, first off, it's either one or two things. Either I don't mess with you like that,
right,
or there's an issue.
You gotta go to your man for man shit.
Yes.
It's just simple as that.
No way around it.
If you have a man, they have to handle the man shit. If not, then you look at them as less of a man.
Exactly.
I mean, just point blank period. Because the statement made in just that he's a pretty boy really means that, yo, you ain't want your boyfriend to get his head knocked off. You see what I'm saying? That's what, hey, I don't know what he was going to do. Like, hey, man, like, yo, he was going to handle the situation. He may not be a fighter, but maybe he can talk. Maybe he knows somebody that can fight. Mm-hmm. You see, maybe he got some guns. I don't know how, but you gotta let him hit. And how are you in a relationship with somebody that you don't feel can protect you?
Exactly.
That's crazy. Like, how are you in a and by protect, I don't mean that you can beat up everybody, because everybody knows, like, you can't beat up everybody, but you can handle certain situations. You can handle whatever comes. You see what I'm saying? You have the resources, personnel, and means to handle situations when they come about. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, why would you be with somebody that if you get into some type of jam or you dealing with dealing with men, they can't speak on your behalf? You know what I mean? That's that. You have to look into that. And I don't want to be with a person who feels like I can't speak on her behalf. I don't want to be with a person who don't feel secure around me, or in that I can handle some man stuff. Like, even if you ain't destroying, listen, you moving, I'll get it done. With some money, with some muscle, with some something, I'll get it done.
That's just like, small example. So if I want to buy my sister or the women in my family a gift. I don't really know a woman gift to get, so I'm gonna go call my homegirl. She helped me to try to figure out what gift to get my aunt, my cousin, and my sister. And you standing right there. And I didn't ask you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Same thing. It's the exact same thing.
Right, like, yo.
And it's just like, yo, I just feel that people need to start looking through the lenses of life through both ends. I literally put myself in somebody else's shoes every time they come to me with some type of advice that they need or something they're thinking about doing. What would I do if I was in this person's shoes? And that's how I go off and give the advice or give the help. Nah, I wouldn't do that. This looks like this. And the crazy thing about it, a lot of times, you know what I don't think we give too much credence to? The optics of something.
Yeah.
Because the optics matter. A lot of people that try to act like, well, I don't care what somebody else thinks, which is not 100% true. Everybody cares what somebody says to an extent, especially when it's like, I have the advantage of telling the truth with me. But sometimes some things just don't sound right. It just doesn't look right. So the optics have to matter in that case. And in that case, like you said, being with somebody that doesn't believe I can protect them and I can provide for them a certain way, I might have to take a step back now.
Right, because I might not care what other people think, but I care what you think.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you? Why do you feel this way? Like, and people on the outside, like, all right, they can think whatever they want. Like, they could, oh, he pretty boy, all that. They can think whatever they want, but you feeling this way is different. Yep. That's totally different. The person that I'm with is not supposed to feel this way. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be able to come to me when you have issues. You know what I mean? I care about what you think because you're my partner.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. So that was another jewel that was dropped by Willie Negro. This is Oshin's View. You had a great time. We're going to get up out of here. Continue to subscribe, like, share. We're going to be on all the platforms soon. Not going to give you a date yet, but it's going to be very soon. So you can just be listening while you're working, on your drive to work, or just in the house cleaning up. Oshin's View. See you.
Peace.